coming up on today's FNN, we learn more about the biggest senior event of the year.
Plus, we visit the STEAM fair.
And we have the latest from spring sports. Stay tuned for all that and more because FNN starts now. Happy Friday, Falcons. I'm Deja.
And I'm Eliesa.
With senior year coming to a close, there's always one big finale at the end of high school to look forward to, prom. I gave a first-hand look at its significance to EK seniors. As the last dance of the year, directed towards juniors and seniors, prom is the talk of the town from the first day of high school. And EK senior Jamie Davis Dorsey tells us about how it's one of the last motivations and exciting events for seniors.
I think that it's like one of the last little hopes that most students are just kind of holding on to. Because at the end of the year, it can be really sentimental because it's kind of just like that last get together as a whole school event, something you can really go to and look forward to at the end of the year.
One of many concerns students have is finding a date for the dance. Getting ready together, going out to dinner, or just having a companion is desired by many. Bam, a senior, believes that a date is not something to stress. However, for him, his special person helped to make for one more special high school memory.
You don't need to, as long as you have some friends to go with. I say it's important to me because I feel like it's a special night to bring with me a special person. I've been dating her for the past 3 years, and one last special night for high school to have.
Glam, glitter, ties and suits, it's all about showing up and showing out for prom. Being the biggest and last dance, seniors go all out, spending money on hair, accessories, pictures, and tickets for one last bang. Anaya Johnson, a senior at EK, tells us about her reason for attending prom, to show her best self after a year of hard work.
I personally want to go to prom mainly just to show up, my best self. You come to school and it's like, you really don't want to dress up for real. You don't really want to, show off your best self. But at prom, it gives you that excuse to, get dressed and spend the money that you actually want to spend and, just show off your personality in your own different ways.
Now with prom over, seniors have memories to look back on. At EK, I'm Deja Bobo signing out. With today being seniors' last day, their next step is graduation before this chapter in their lives is officially over.
Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math were all on display at the annual STEAM fair. The event gave students a chance to showcase their projects, share their idea, and explore new ways of learning. Jennifer Gao has more.
Kicking off May, East Kentwood High School hosted its annual STEAM fair, where EK students get a chance to display the knowledge they accumulated throughout the year. Getting a chance to host and explore innovative projects, participate in on-hands activities, and engage in discussion. Mr. Van Houten, the founder and AP Bio teacher at EK, described the creativity and effort behind his students' work.
Their project is not only workable and makes sense, but is also presentable and understanding to any audience.
Not only high school students, but students of all grades were able to connect with mentors and peers while exploring new ideas and unique skills. One of those students, EK junior Jonathan Wing, reflects on what he was able to learn from creating his project.
The ones that say 99.9% of bacteria killed don't actually kill 99.9% of bacteria.
The STEAM fair allows students to work together and collaborate, discovering new ways to approach challenges and grow from them. EK senior Thing Fan reflects on his new skills that he developed throughout his project.
Because if you rush, you're gonna touch the wire and then you fail the game. And you actually can't too slow, because if you're too slow, your hand gonna be shaky and you're gonna fail the game too.
EK's STEAM fair not only showcased students' academic talents, but inspired creative thinking, leaving every student who participated excited for what they can achieve next. At EK, I'm Jennifer Gao.
Teachers say events like the STEAM fair help students build creativity, confidence, and real-world problem-solving skills. And for many students, the experience inspired their ideas about their futures.
For many student athletes, the game doesn't end when practice or competition is over. Balancing sports, school, and a personal life can be a challenge, not just for the players, but for coaches as well. Darius Calvert takes a look at the pressures of managing it all.
Sports can take up so much of our time without even realizing it. Now it's a part of you. You have to work around it the best way you can, for both athletes and coaches. East Kentwood Civics teacher and Boys Lacrosse head coach David Foster feels that his biggest hurdle is grading while in season.
Yes, it can be. It's just, especially when it comes down to managing, doing grading, that's the thing that really falls off for me during this time. Just Like, especially because coaching is really my biggest passion. I love lacrosse so much that it takes up a lot of my mental space, thinking about what we could be doing at practice, how we could be doing better at games, how we manage communicating with parents, and just especially as a head coach, there's just a lot of things that goes into that.
Doing what you love can take up most of the space in your head, leaving little room for things outside of sports. Many student athletes are consistently thinking about the ways they can do to get better at their sport, and little time thinking about how they can do better in the classroom. EK Jr. and varsity baseball player Grayson Shannon tries to stay balanced, using his time wisely to continue to learn and to stay on track.
Hardest part is definitely just time management. There's not a lot of time to work on school, so when you do have time, you really have to lock in and focus. Not, wasting time when I have it or going on my phone when I have time to study or learn, and just really focusing on that.
Wasting time will get athletes nowhere, as they never know who's watching. Coaches, teachers, college scouts. Being an athlete is one thing, but there's a big part that many forget. It is a student athlete, not the other way around.
My future, I like to really be good in the classroom, especially because college coaches love that, and just really focus on the student part of being a student athlete. And once you can do that, it opens up a lot more time for being an athlete.
It's great for student athletes to figure out how to balance school and sports, but there are also other things that play an important role in life. And through the ups and downs, it's important for students and coaches to recognize they don't have to do it alone. For Coach Foster, he receives help from others and makes sure he still has time for himself.
It's talking to people that are my coaching mentors. They're the ones that I probably lean on the most, and just finding ways to find self-care when I've got the time off, because even when it's days off, I have a tendency to really be thinking about what the next steps are, what we need to be doing differently, what I need to be doing differently, and just giving myself the grace to do something different, get outside, play video games, whatever that is, just to decompress.
Self-care is mandatory, and having healthy ways to relieve stress is important. For Shannon, he recognized the pressure of being a student athlete, but it doesn't stop him from pushing forward and staying focused.
It definitely puts a lot of stress mentally, so something I personally do, I journal a lot and write pros and cons of my days, and just really stacking little wins, even in baseball or in the classroom, and looking at those to keep going.
The small wins matter, and not all of them come onto the field.
I love getting to see kids being able to just grow throughout the year, going in whatever way that is. It's not always necessarily the academic growth that you want to see, but even if it's seeing social emotional growth, even if it's seeing our relationship grow, just that's really exciting to me, and I really love that. And then lacrosse is my life. I love this sport, and I love doing it, love it being involved, and I love trying to pass that along to everybody else.
There's nothing better than sharing your love for your sport. But your love can only go so far, and losing can hit hard.
So baseball is a losing game, because to be a Hall of Famer, you got to hit a hit 3 out of 10 times. So baseball's taught me how to fail and how to come back from it. And in the classroom, it just kind of carries over. If I don't do great on an assignment or a test, I can come here, and I kind of find baseball is my happy place. I can hang out with my friends, and doing that really makes me feel better.
Sports can teach discipline, leadership, and passion. But learning how to balance life outside the game matters just as much, whether it's in the classroom or out on the field. At EK, I'm Darius Calvert.
Coaches and students say success isn't just about what happens on the field. It's also about finding balance off of it. And many believe learning how to manage that pressure is a lesson that lasts far beyond high school sports.
And that wraps up your news this week, Falcons.
Now let's toss it over to FNN sports reporter Carter Elias for this week's EK Sports Report.
Welcome back to the land, Falcons. It's Carter here bringing you your EK Sports Report. Starting at the baseball diamond, our boys took an upsetting loss on Tuesday and Wednesday against West Ottawa. Over at the track, our boys and girls have had a very impressive season so far, and both our guys and girls dominated last Friday to bring home the OK Red Conference title. Over at Papet, our girls had a hard-fought game on Tuesday against West Ottawa, drawing 0-0. Sadly, last night the girls lost against Grand Haven. Last but not least, one of our Falcon athletes signed to continue her career at the collegiate level. Shout out to Kamaya Valor for signing to Saginaw Valley State to continue her career on the dance mat. That wraps up this week's Sports Report. We'll be back next fall. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, for the last time this year, let's pass it back to the desk.
Thanks, Carter.
Let's wrap up our final show of the year with a preview of next week's special bloopers episode.
That does it for today's show. Now you're trying to kill me.
Diving over the swim,
Thanks, Reese.
Oh, didn't know I was going.
East Kentwood offers many different clubs to their students, including the
Let's do it. You got to.
And that is it for today's show.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram and subscribe to Falcon News Network on YouTube, where you can catch sports, live streams, previous episodes, and other great content.
Plus, check out Falcon News Network on Spotify for our latest podcast episodes coming out every day. Thank you so much for a great year, and we thank you all for watching every week.
Have a great rest of your year, and we will be back in the fall.